Okay, so once the design is completed, this is the chair as it's going to be made. So what I have to do is flatten it out so it's ready for the ShopBot CNC router. And as you can see down here in my timeline, I'm not actually at the end. I've already gone through and created all my planar joints, which lines them all up with flat ground, and then I've arranged them. So we can just go ahead and skip forward one. You can see they're a mess, but then you drag them around and line them all up. I'm just going to revert, and then I've already done that once, and that's my layout. So then what I'm going to do is go into my CAM workspace and go ahead and create the ShopBot cut files for these. So how I do that is I have a setup for each material. So I go ahead and go to my birch material here. I've already done this, so I'm just going to generate the tool paths. I'll give you a quick overview of what it's going to do. So I just use tool 3. I've got a quick change spindle on my ShopBot. It allows me to change bits, or end mills rather, with just using an Allen wrench. So I got tool 3, which is a down cutting 1/4 inch end mill. It's just going to go through and drill all my holes. Tool 5 is tool 3 is upcut. Tool 5 is downcut. It's going to go through and do all my pockets. And then tool 1 is a compression bit. So I'm going to do all my interior contours first. I could do interior and exterior together, but I kind of systemically do my exterior contours just in a way that I can turn off the valves on my vacuum table so that I don't lose vacuum while I'm cutting. So I do interior on its own because that way I can just not worry about the way I click them, or select them rather. And then once I do exterior, I do that in a way that's systemically going to go from left to right here, so I can shut off. This is zone 5. You'll see it in the video. So I shut off 5 after I cut this one, and I shut off 3 after I cut these 2 pieces, and then just zone 1 holding all these parts together. So just go up, right click on birch, post process, hit post, and then save it to whatever I want. So I'll just save it to SAS for now. And that gives you your cut file. So this is actually saved onto a local folder on this computer, but the computer that runs the ShopBot has remote access to it, so I don't have to move any files. I go to the ShopBot computer and have access and open up this file here on the ShopBot software. So we'll do that now. Alright, let's cut out this ABS tray and go back to real quick to the model. Just go back. So this ABS tray that we slide on top, we can do it in black or white. We have both colors, and depending on, because we have a whole bunch of ABS that's already been pre-ripped for us, they're at different widths. So the white one's 24 inches wide, which is our typical tray width, and then the blacks are at 16 inches wide, which is our typical tray depth. So because of that, I just have a little different setup once I actually get into the cam environment. Let's do that now. If I go to my ABS setup here, just going to Control G again for the regenerate. You can see that I've got my x-axis running along the width of the tray and my y running along the depth of it. So that just switches based on the color. And so in this case, we're actually going to cut a black tray for this seating system. So I've just got a quick couple operations. Got a drill operation with tool 3, which again is an upcutting, and then the same tool 3 goes around the perimeter just a whole bunch of times to cut out the ABS. If I had an O-flute, like an Onsrud, something really fancy, I'd probably do this in one pass or maybe two, but just because of the tooling we have, it's cheap, but it works for us. So just go and post-process that operation, or that setup. There we go. We've got our code for the ShopBot, so we'll go ahead and cut the ABS now. Here we are back in the model workspace, and I just wanted to show you that the white foam backrest and the white foam seat obviously are not currently planar. They're both going to get cut out of 4-inch white closed cell foam cross-linked polyethylene. So what I have to do is again use the joint to lay them flat so that I can carve them at the same time on the ShopBot. So I create that joint and that layout arrangement so that when our ball mill comes around, we can go over to the cam environment, click on our foam here. So this ball mill, we've got a 2-inch ball mill that we use on the ShopBot for this. It goes through and it clears out, this is our roughing strategy, and then we do a parallel pass with tangent as well that just cleans up the surface. And then I actually, after I pull off the machine, you'll see this as well in a video, or in the video, that I slice these angled cuts on the bandsaw after the fact. So we could do some undercutting with this ball mill, but it's more hassle than it's worth, and it's quick and easy to slice it on the bandsaw. So we'll just do the post process for this. New, generate. Quick tip for generating: just Control G on the Windows will regenerate the operations of the setup that you're selected, and then I can post process that. And there we go. We'll put that on the ShopBot as well and cut the foam now.